Titans at Commanders.
This is an interesting game, too.
5.5-point favorites. We should see Marshawn Lattimore's debut. Commanders fans are like, dude, we could have used it the past couple of weeks.
Goodness gracious.
A little too late here, but 44.5 points is the over-under in this one.
It's going to go over.
Yeah. The Commanders are a over team this year.
It's going to be over, and I'm saying it because of Will Levis. I think Will Levis goes out there, slings that pill around like a friggin' madman. Who's the guy, Chigakonkwo?
Yeah.
That his guy?
That is.
I need to get the
Broke
ball
one for 75.
Get the ball in his
week.
hands and let him go.
Little stop route breaks one for 75.
They got some busted coverage on the back end in Washington. And you said that was the reason he took it 80 yards last week. It could happen again. I mean,
hopefully with Lattimore that doesn't happen now, right? Because you would assume that St. Juice most likely goes to the bench, and maybe they keep Iganabe inside, or maybe they move Iganabe outside and put Sanderstrill. Mike Sanderstrill inside, where he's probably his best position, but he's been forced to play on the outside. I've been waiting for Marshawn to play because that's literally been their vice this year. Like, they've struggled in the back end, and they've been waiting for Marshawn Lattimore to really show up. So it'll be interesting. Does he travel maybe with Calvin Ridley, who went off last week? It'll be interesting.
They're finally letting them do those inside release instead of being like an X where you're outside release running like the vertical tree. They're finally getting them into
across the field,
yes, those sort of routes, and obviously he's balling on them. The one matchup that worries me about the Commanders is that the Tennessee Titans run defense one of the best in the NFL. We talked about how teams have figured out kind of what the Commanders want to do on early downs. They want to do quick passing game. They want to run. They want to just keep getting these small gains down the football field to stay ahead of the chains. Take that away, and I think Titans will be able to take that away with how they can play press on the outside and how they can stop the run. You make them really turn into a different team. Now it's just, can adjust and Jane Daniels can be a drop back passer and run a more downfield passing offense, but it's, can Cliff adjust and be like, that's going to open it up. Can we open it up?
And
that's the big thing.
That was my question going into this race. When you talk about Bo Nix kind of tightening the reins on offensive rookie of the year, I said the only way Jaden Daniels doesn't win this is because of Cliff Kingsbury. And for some odd reason, when November, December hits, no matter where he's been, teams have just figured out his offensive scheme, and the offense have not looked good. He's got to have a real heart-to-heart with Jaden Daniels, and Jaden Daniels has to have a heart-to-heart with him. Like, when you watch it on tape, I don't understand why they're not throwing the ball down the field to Terry McLaurin. Like, you did that in the beginning of the year, and plays were being made. Case in point, 86-yarder last week when you needed it the most, down the field to Terry McLaurin. All this dinking and dunking, yes, I love it because you stay ahead of the chains. But to Mike's point, when teams play aggressive press man, guys aren't winning at the line of scrimmage. And even when Terry does, for some reason, Jaden's not looking at him, which, again, he would be number one in my read at every play, every passing play. Like, I'm looking at him first to see if he's a man. If he's a man, I'm giving him an opportunity because he's proven to make plays for me. So, again, Cliff Kingsbury has to adjust his offense, or it's going to continue to look bad for the Commanders down the stretch.
I think if I'm Dan Quinn, I want to lull Will Levis into a sense of false comfort early in the game. I want to show him things at the line of scrimmage. We know that they like to do that A-gap communication with those linebackers. I want the offensive line to get the impression that they're showing and they're dropping into coverage. And maybe in the second or third possession, I want to mimic exactly how we lined up, and I want to bring it. And I want to get Will Levis sped up. And I want to, if I'm the Commanders, obviously I am picking Will Levis and the Titans in this spot and the over. But if I'm going to try to force these interceptions that we know are in there with this guy, I want to lull him into that false sense of comfortability, and then light him up, speed him up in the second and third possessions. And we've talked about it every week. He gets in trouble when he tries to play hero ball. Other than that, when he plays within himself, he's a damn good quarterback.
I do think this one depends on if Lattimore is going to play. If he does play, I like the Commanders. If he's not, I do like the Titans just because that second corner for the Commanders has been such a roller coaster that I wouldn't trust it, especially with how big play the Tennessee Titans offense is. Right? Like, you are a team that thrives on downfield passing, like Will Levis, top 5 in the NFL this year in that regard. So that's
to that point, giving love the corners. I know we're about to move on. Jarvis Brownlee has played his butt off for the Tennessee Titans. I know L'Jarius Sneed was the one that had the hype and the name and got the paycheck. Jarvis Brownlee is played out of this world for them as a rookie corner.
He was a guy that at the Senior Bowl, you were probably there.
Oh, I was high on him, bro.
Best corner at Senior Bowl. Didn't quite match his Louisville tape. That's why he ended up going in the 5th round. the Senior Bowl tape is translated.
Yeah.
He's been a great press man corner.
Feisty guy at the line of scrimmage.
Best corner
Feisty.
at the Senior Bowl, 5th round.
Yeah.
I would say Quinn Young was the best corner at the Senior Bowl.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Quinn Young was the best corner.
Yeah. Jarvis was probably right behind him, though. Yeah.
Right behind him.
Yeah.